It's showtime.
Hey, welcome to Did You Watch Survivor Last Night? This is the only fun Survivor podcast. My name is Jake Scheidel. Each week I ask my best friend, Thomas Powell, if he did indeed watch a certain reality show. Hey, Thomas, how you doing?
Hey, I'm walking here.
Oh, New York, baby. It's a New York City.
Greatest city on earth. We do things a little differently around here.
You know what I like to call New York City?
What do you like to call it?
Being from Chicago, I like to call it the first city.
Ah, because you're the second city, of course.
That's right. That's right. No other cities existed before New York and Chicago.
Yeah, well, there's a reason they call it the second city is because it's number 2. Because it's shit compared to New York. Best city on earth, baby.
No shit in the water here. That's why bagels taste good. Thomas, you had 2
bagels. Taste good
bagels.
because we don't take shits in the water here.
You had 2 bagels this morning. Do you want to discuss what led to that decision?
I would love nothing more than to do that. So I'm staying in beautiful Astoria, Queens. You walk down the street, you can see Queensbridge from there, which is cool. And we got some bagels this morning, as you do when you're in New York City. I don't know if you've heard of it. Greatest city on earth. Concrete jungle where dreams are made of. There's nothing you can't do.
Yep.
Sorry, I just conflated that with the Liz Lemon Concrete Jungle where dreams are made up. There's nothing you can do. I'm in the city of Liz Lemon. I'm eating bagels.
As they call it.
I'm walking here. Mm-hmm. I'm getting a New York slice. I'm doing all of it. But I had a pumpernickel bagel that was very good, and I had an everything bagel that was also very, very good, and I didn't toast them because they kill you here if you do that.
They kill you if you toast your bagels in New York City?
They always say it's like if the bagels are good, you don't have to toast them because they're like fresh or whatever. So we got some fresh baked ones.
And you do have a lot of experience with bagels, Thomas.
How do you mean?
You have a whole company of bagels.
Oh, you're right. Yeah, and English muffins.
Mm-hmm. English muffins are pretty tasty. I'll be honest.
I like to hang out in grocery stores sometimes, and any time that someone tries to take the Thomas's bagels or English muffins, I go, "Hey, those are mine. Get your own."
You're just cross-armed.
I wrote my
in
name
front of
on
the bread aisle. All of these are yours? Yes, and you can't have any of them.
They're for me. I eat a lot of bagels.
Yeah, bagels are good. Bagels are best.
But anyway, yeah, New York. What's a fun thing about New York is, man, they really are not kidding that the city kind of smells like garbage because there are no alleys in New York. It was not, they don't have trash like dumpsters in alleys to throw it. Yeah. So the trash is always out just right in front of everything. And not great city design, I would say.
That strikes me as surprising given the second city, and we learned a lot from the first city. We need alleys here.
They're a good place to put trash.
Super convenient. Every time we take our back door, which is more convenient here because it's closer to the train station, there's a little dumpster there. Throw our trash in it. Somebody comes by. Beep, 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 beep. That's the truck. Comes in, takes the dumpster, and leaves. That's it. What is New York City doing? Fucking
definitely the most
streets?
Trash that I've ever seen in a major city. They don't have anywhere to hide it.
You're saying New York City is trash?
I'm not saying that. I actually am enjoying my time here so far, but that was one of those things I'd heard about that I was like, yeah, people are probably exaggerating, and like, nope, no, they're not.
You love the scent of trash.
I do. It was raining for a long time yesterday and through this morning, so it's all wet trash now.
Sounds great. I can't wait to hear more about that. You know where they also don't have alleys? A little city known as Survivor City. Never mind. Thomas, did you watch Survivor 44 last night?
I took a one-way trip to Survivor City last night. Mm-hmm. You know what? Also, a lot of trash on this season too. So it's a good comparison.
Wow. Okay. Trash. Who's trash? What's trash? Oh, I guess
just the show.
The show is trash. I thought you were calling the contestants trash. No, the contestants are actually some of the best bunch we've got ever.
I don't have a problem with contestants.
What about garbage advantage? And that's what it's called. What would that be?
What if the reward was a trash can?
That'd be funny. What if Oscar
And
the
it was like
Grouch was on Survivor?
hefty bags were the sponsor.
John Cena on Survivor. What about that?
That'd be pretty cool.
He sponsors Hefty now.
John Cena would be a good host of Survivor. I think we can all agree on that. Just like 100%. His other show that he hosted.
No, that's not a show that he hosted. That's not a show that's ever existed, and we've never talked about it on this program.
No one's ever hosted a show called Beef. There's never been a show called that.
My point was, John Cena is wonderful, and I want to see him on my television more. He also hosts Wipeout, a show that hasn't been canceled from our program. And have we ever done a John Cena on a simulated season?
I don't think we have.
That's really surprising. Even all of the wrestling we talked about.
A John season?
Now there's an idea. This episode was called "Don't Get Cocky, Kid." That's pretty good.
I don't know. I think part of it is just production with Kane is like, say nerd stuff, say nerd stuff every time that he does, talking heads. But like,
are you offended?
Yeah, it's Star Wars. It's a Star Wars quote.
What is this? Some sort of Star War? Are you offended as a nerd that this is how you're being portrayed on the television?
I don't know. I don't lean that hard into I have niche interests. I don't consider myself to be like a mainline nerd. I'm actually I'm more highly evolved.
Oh, speak more on that, please.
I'm really into French clowning and unicycles and jazz fusion music.
That's so cool.
And whatever the most obscure sci-fi is, that's what I'm into.
Yeah, definitely not a nerd.
Not all this mainline bullshit like Star Wars or Marvel.
Avengers. Game of Thrones. Well, what house are you in? My own. Get the fuck out of here. I'm watching Survivor.
Get off my property. I'm watching Survivor.
Jam Jam thanks them for, him surviving. That's good. Franny cries over losing Matt. We all did, Franny. Get a fucking room.
It was a bummer. I did think it was a little over dramatic to be like, and I saw him and he was so scared. Like they were going to kill him.
Yeah, they could. It's called Survivor for a reason.
Yeah, they pulled a gun on Matt at Tribal Council. Well, Brady couldn't do anything about it.
You've seen this Tribal Council is all, medieval themed. What you don't see is just behind Jeff Probst is a guillotine that is ready to be pulled.
Yeah, speaking of Game of Thrones, Matt got his head cut off like Ned Stark.
Imagine them coming into Tribal Council and the jury is just the last person's head on a spike.
That would be so sick. That would be so really sick. Cool.
That would be cool. They should do that. Actually,
they should do that. Just have like a practical effects like paper mache head or whatever.
Yeah,
you
make they should do it for real. They should do it with their real heads.
You want them to actually kill them? Okay.
Yeah, and then use the paper mache heads.
I thought it would be fun. Yeah, they're like, this isn't their real head. The real head is actually was disposed of after we killed them.
It's called Survivor for a reason.
We didn't have any embalming fluid, so.
Here's a joke I thought of this week while walking through the grocery store. Maybe you saw it on Twitter. When you're walking through the chocolate aisle and you think, Who is winning Survivor 44?
What?
When you're walking through the chocolate aisle and you think to yourself, who's winning Survivor 44? What do you think? Franny Mae.
What?
When you're walking through the chocolate aisle at the grocery store.
Well, I don't know what you're doing.
When you're walking
Why
through...
is this supposed to mean anything to me?
Listen. when you're walking through the grocery store and you see chocolates.
This seems like something you would. This seems like something that you would do to like torture me. Like if I was like Guantanamo Bay,
that's not at
and
all
you
what's
just
happening.
kept. I was tied up, and you just kept saying that to me.
You're walking through the aisles at the grocery store and you're like, I would love a little chocolate dessert after my dinner tonight. What kind of chocolate should I get? So you wander over to the chocolate aisle and you see all of the different chocolate options from your local grocery store. And you think, Survivor's on tonight. I wonder who's going to win Survivor 44.
This is the voight. You're doing the voight contest to me from Blade Runner. You're like you were walking through the chocolate aisle.
And
you
then
were wondering who's going to win Survivor. There is a turtle on its back. Why aren't you flipping it over?
And then you know what happens. Your eyes fall upon some delicious chocolates, and your question is answered. Who might win Survivor 44? Franny Mae.
Is that a chocolate? I've literally never heard of that before.
Yeah, that's a really well-known chocolate brand.
Is it? I don't know that I've
Look
ever.
it up.
I don't think of. I think of Fannie Mae, which was like a student loan provider.
No, Franny Mae. Don't lie to me. I saw it yesterday. Well, no, it's just saying.
Are you
Fannie
sure about
Mae.
this? I'm not. There's Fannie Mae.
No, that's the loan company, Fannie Mae Chocolate.
Well, there was Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac, but there's also Fannie Mae Confection Brands, an American chocolate manufacturer headquartered in Chicago. Oh, this is a Chicago thing. That's why.
In my defense, I don't know how to read.
Yeah, honestly, the fact that you got like 95% of that correct is pretty impressive, given your inability to read.
So, what if that was a good joke? Pretty good shit.
I thought it was a pretty good joke, just in terms of I felt like I was having a stroke for about 2 minutes there.
And that's the game. That's the name of the game when telling jokes.
You're walking through the student loan aisle.
And you think, who might win Survivor? Franny Mae. Heidi talks to Jam Jam and says she didn't want to ruffle feathers with the extra vote or whatever the fuck she had. Okay, so we don't need to see this again, I think is the ultimate conclusion from this.
Correct.
It didn't affect anything, and the person didn't want to use it. It's great TV, Jeff. Great job. So, it's finally the war between Sokka and Ratatouille that we've been, teased with for the last 2 episodes.
They've been tickling us about this, but now it's all coming to a head.
Mm-hmm. Cain is excited to decimate the other tribes. Did you appreciate his use of decimate?
Why the fuck does no one know how to use this word properly?
Define it, Thomas. This is a new segment called Thomas Defines Words for you imbeciles.
Are there 10 people on the other tribe?
About, yeah. Well,
if there were, and he intended to remove one of them, that would be a correct use of the word decimate.
Well, this was 10 people left in the game, and he was aiming to vote out one of them. So in a way,
but he said the other tribe, though, right? Not
he did.
Everyone in the game.
He did say the other tribe. My notes say the other tribes. He might have been pluralizing it, so maybe it's
even then. It still wouldn't be all 10 people.
Yeah.
That would be sick. Honestly, I would be very happy if he had used it properly. If he'd said, "I can't wait to decimate all the players in this game," I'd be like, "Correct, good job, Kane."
Good job, Kane.
Somebody took AP English.
Krylan cooks crabs. That's a fun little alliterative sentence. Krylan cooks crabs. You want us to try saying it?
Yeah, Krylan cooks crabs on the coast.
There you go. Carson vomits. Or as you like to call him, Christian.
Christian vomits.
Tremel tells them to pair up. So you're walking down the aisle to find your seat at church. And you're like, why is nobody sitting in this pew? And then you look in the pew. Oh, there it is. Christian vomits.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, what is that? Communion?
Yeah, they throw a bunch of communion wafers down like sawdust to soak it up. To Soka it up.
There we go. Tremail tells them to pair up. Why are we doing this? Do normal. Do normal challenge again.
Just do regular challenges. There's only 10 people left.
I'd like to decimate this ridiculous way of pairing people up.
Yeah, I will say I do like the challenges where they have like multiple segments of it where people get eliminated. I actually liked the structure of this one.
I did too. But again, what if our theory while watching this, mine and my beautiful fiance's theory was that they just somebody called in sick the day they were creating this challenge, so they could only make like half of it, and that's why they had to pair up. Does that make sense?
We don't have enough people. We don't have enough people here to design the rest of it. So
yeah, we can only make 5 platforms instead of 4 or 10, whatever. Who cares? Numbers are fake. They have to crawl through a muddy nut, dig up planks, race up a cargo net, make bridge with planks, slide down, slide, balance between 2 walls. Yeah. Solid. The only issue I had with it was pairing people up, but I understand you only have so many people on the crew to build the challenges, so... I feel like there was only one thing of note that happened in this challenge. Do you know what it is?
What was it?
It was when Danny farted.
Danny did fart, and Jeff looked really mad for half a second before he was like, ha ha ha, so funny, we have fun here.
We do have fun here on Survivor. He said at one point, you have to dig. You really have to dig. Do you think Jeff gets tired of yelling at people to dig?
Yeah, Jeff wants to have important conversations. He doesn't want to yell at people to dig deep.
Yeah. Lauren won and hugs Jeff, and he says, I love being a part of these moments. Do you? That's a weird thing to say.
Get the fuck out of here, dude.
That's a weird thing to say. Don't
insert yourself into this. You didn't win this challenge. You were just there.
I love being part of moments like this. You mean hosting the show?
It's nice to be included in the show I host.
Drew Carey doesn't say that when somebody hugs him when they come on stage. I love being in this moment.
Imagine Alex Trebek saying that.
Imagine Alex Trebek.
He would say something mean.
Imagine Alex Trebek hugging the contestants.
Yeah, come on.
Regularly calling them nerds and losers.
Yeah, that's the appeal of having that type of guy there, is that he can say something sort of cutting to you, but in a very reserved way.
Yeah. But I love being a part of this. It's stupid.
Jeff is like, the animals are great. People are pretty good, too.
We bought a Ratatouille. That was almost good. Speaking of Ratatouille, the Ratatouille 4 think they have the majority and target Franny, or as we call her, Fannie Mae, coming for your loans. How do you recognize this?
She's coming to collect on the debt that needs to be paid for Matt.
Yeah. For some reason, the Ratatouille 4 think they have majority because the other 2 tribes are only 3. But Heidi recognizes that 6 is more than 4, so they all target Brandon. Obviously this is what you're supposed to do.
It's the merge, like the tribes are useful, in solidifying alliances, but they're not.
The people on Ratatouille are like, clearly nobody from either other tribe is going to talk to each other, just how we're not talking to anybody else. I don't think you thought this through. To be fair, the merge has been kind of complicated thus far.
You know the clip from that Drake music video where he's showing the guy how to use the computer, and the guy goes like, oh, and like very exaggeratedly is like, oh, I didn't get that. Now I understand, Drake. That's how everyone was when they had to have the fact that 6 is more than 4 explained to them. Like, oh yeah,
of course.
Oh, I didn't realize that.
So Danis the Menace tells Heidi that he has an idol and is considering playing it for Franny Mae, the chocolatier. What if Franny was the Willy Wonka in the new Willy Wonka? And I know Timothée Chalamet already has the part, but what if they recast it and it was Franny?
Franny I was gonna say Franny Monka is Franny Wonka.
Franny Monka. What a name. That's a fucking sim I would kill in an instant if I could.
Yeah, we got to start over on this one. I
speaking of
like
The
the
Sims.
idea of Franny doing the thing where she pretends like she's like, oh, I'm so weak now, and then she does a cool, somersault and gets up and is like, I'm actually very spry.
That's honestly a really good metaphor. Jeff would love that metaphor. Speaking of The Sims, remember I told you recently how I downloaded a really big house and made a big family. I hated it.
You wouldn't download a house.
You wouldn't download a house, but I did. Well, I successfully built a fireplace and a rug to ignite. The rug, for Sims players, is the newspapers. There's just a pile of newspapers you can buy as a rug.
That's so good. You can make your sim a hoarder, and then they die in a hoarder fire.
I put the newspaper rug next to the fireplace, and then like a wooden display table, like decor table, and it just day-long fire in this house.
I would love that shot, like a Final Destination death scene of just like, oh no, I never should have put all those newspaper rugs next to the fireplace.
One of the 5 people did die, and I have another one in a jail cell underneath. Oh, by the way, I didn't realize this when I downloaded it, but there were 5 jail cells in the basement. So having a lot of fun with The Sims.
Yeah, it's so fun. You are like Alan Cumming. You were running a murder house.
Yeah, I think that's probably what inspired me. But
or murder castle, I should say.
That's right. Yeah, murder castle. Well, Jam and Carson discuss the vote. Heidi tells them about Danis the Manus's idol. I don't know about Heidi.
This is why you don't. Well, yes. 1, I don't think Heidi is trustworthy, but 2, don't tell people about your idol, man. How many times do people have to learn this lesson?
But this time it's going to be different because our connection is really key. It's more stronger than any other in the past 44 seasons of this show.
He is very lucky that Carson came to him about it, because he probably would have been screwed otherwise.
Yeah. Danis the Manus tells Franny he'll play his idol for her. Carson tells Danny that Heidi told Jam, so now Danny isn't sure what to do. This is good. This is some classic gameplay. This is what I want from Survivor. Yeah. I think it was Stephen Fishback on our rival podcast saying, like, it's really hard knowing when to stop. Like, should I play the idol for me? Should I play it for Franny? Like, trying to decide between those two, because who are they going to decide to vote for? Franny or him? Because for whatever reason, this group isn't changing or isn't splitting the vote. And Danny was successfully, recognized where the vote was going to end. So I was impressed with this move.
It was good. It was a good move. This is the kind of move that inspired trust in him, the trust I had when I picked him.
Yes. 3 weeks ago, you said, Danis the Manus is the Manus for me. Before we get into the Tribal Council more, though, we do need to discuss these wildlife shots. We had Roland the Bat, Thomas. Second time this season we saw Roland. What can you tell me about your son, Roland the Bat?
Good to see him. He's doing great. He's out there. He's independent. Very proud of my boy.
Love it. We also had another flying creature known as the Masked Shining Parrot. It's got a green body, a yellow chest, and a black mask with orange eyes. What is this? The fucking Phantom of the Opera with his black mask?
The luchador parrot.
The luchador parrot, as they like to call him. They live in tropical forests on the Fijian island of Viti Levu. Does that name sound familiar to you?
Should it?
Yeah, it's one of the islands that they shoot Survivor on now.
Oh, okay.
So naturally, they are threatened by habitat loss.
Jeff Probst. They're threatened by Jeff Probst.
Yeah. Get the fuck off my island. That's what he's always yelling at the birds.
He bores them to death by trying to have conversations with them. I just love being a part of this moment with you, Parrot.
Well, it's just screaming to find a mate outside his window in the morning. They're 1.5 feet long and weigh just under a pound. Where do you think they rank on the IUCN Red List? And also, can you believe that's all the information I could find on these guys? Like 3 facts.
Crazy. I'm going to say that they are... It's habitat endangerment. I'll say that they are endangered.
They are near threatened. By Jeff Probst's voice.
Yeah. If they get Jeff out of there, they could probably recover.
Yeah. That's the thing. Get Survivor out of there. Do you know how much land there is for animals to take over? That wouldn't be, endangered or threatened or extinct in the wild.
It'd be like the Lost World Jurassic Park. You'd go back there and the parrots would just be running the place.
Love that movie. Okay, let's talk about this tribal council and how it's fucking dumb now. Boring. Nobody cares. I said on our Twitter, you could write tribal council with an AI at this point.
Yeah, get Chat GPT or whatever to get out there. Do that.
Jeff says, let's start with where the game is right now. You created this game. You know where it is. You're the host. You're there every day. What about, I don't know, what happened at camp? Kryling cooked crabs on the coast. Let's talk about that. Kane says you have to be playing different and visible because of the merge. Okay. I did like this from Heidi. This gave 1 point for Heidi in my book. She said, don't write Heidi.
Love that.
Yeah, that's, can't argue with that. Krylan says nothing is ever certain. Classic line about Survivor. Jam says, and I think he nailed the nail on the nail. He said the key to Survivor is know what's going on. Yep.
Yeah, it's true.
The problem is that's impossible now. They vote, and Danny plays his idol for Franny, and she in return gives him several chocolates. Franny would have gotten 6 votes, and Brandon is out with 3. What were you going to say?
Well executed, a little quid pro quo there between them, but what was during Tribal? There was something that seems like it's going to be the thing that they talk about at every Tribal now. It's going to be the voting blocks for this season. I'm trying to remember what it was.
Oh God, trying to remember anything specific that's said at Tribal Council is the hardest thing about watching Survivor.
Yeah, it was one of those things that just sounded like something that's going to come up a lot because Jeff was very animatedly like, "Yes, isn't that?" And isn't that? It was something about knowing people or something like that. It was.
The one thing that stuck out to me was when Franny said that they're all like arrows, and the question is where are all of the arrows going to be pointing at the end of Tribal Council. That's the worst metaphor I think I've ever heard.
Yeah, it's pretty bad. Franny, you can do better than that.
The points Heidi won for her funny self-deprecating defense are points taken away from Franny for that horrible metaphor. Yeah. We're all arrows. Not even we're all punctuation marks. I'm a question mark. I'm an exclamation point. Ooh, that's a fun game. What punctuation mark is everybody left on Survivor? Here, I'll go through how everybody's voted, and you give me, look at your keyboard if it helps. You give me your first initial reaction, what their punctuation mark would be. Okay, ready? We've got 3 people left at 100% correct votes. That's Danis the Manis.
Exclamation point.
I would agree with that. Franny.
Also exclamation point.
No, you can't do that. Danny's already the exclamation point. It has to be different for everybody.
I'll say $.
Hey, because she's going to win that money. What about Heidi?
Question mark?
I would agree with that. What about... Heidi's the other person with 100% of the vote, right? Danny, Franny, and Heidi. Hey, maybe you got to end your name in a Y sound to get the correct votes. Jamie is at 2 of 3 correct votes. What's Jamie's?
Jamie's a period.
Why do you say that?
Because I think you know where we stand with her, you know?
Oh, yeah, that makes sense. Okay. What about Jam Jam? He's at 2 of 3 correct votes.
He's a semicolon.
Okay. Carson is at 1.5 votes. 1 of 2 votes correct, I should say.
Carson is a comma, because he's always trying to continue the conversation.
I like that. What about Kryolin?
Kryolin is... I'm running out of punctuation marks here.
I'm going to say Kryolin is like an ellipses because she's like the each dot represents a tear and she's always crying, you know.
Yes.
What about Lauren? 1 of 3 correct votes. Not great.
Lauren is she's an apostrophe.
Interesting. And the reasoning behind that is?
It's like, whose side is she on?
So good. Such good analysis.
I'm working with what I got here. There's only so many punctuation marks. And I can't reuse any of them.
And last but certainly least, Kane has voted correctly 0 times in the post-merge.
Kane is a regular colon.
Yeah, good. Okay, so that was a really fun game, and I'm glad we did it. Thomas, last week you had 24 points. I had 27 points. We each got a point for correctly predicting somebody at the merge. You said Danis the Manis, of course. I said Jamie. So now you're at 25 points. I'm at 28 points. We didn't do great this week.
I think I got pretty good. Didn't I pick Brandon to win the challenge?
You said Brandon would win reward, which they didn't have, and you said Kane would win immunity.
Oh, okay. I was relatively close, but that doesn't count. That doesn't give you points, so.
No. Close only counts in hand shoes and hand grenades.
Hand shoes and horse grenades.
Hand shoes and horse grenades, that's what we like to say. Okay, who's going to win this next reward challenge, assuming we do indeed see it?
I was a little bummed that we didn't get one.
Oh, you didn't love the immunity challenge 12 minutes into the episode?
Nah, I would have liked... Jeff doesn't want everyone to have a little treat, and I disagree with him about that.
Give
So
me
I'm
some
pro
salami.
treats. Yeah. Survivor players can have a little salami as a treat.
Yep.
Let's see. I'll say that Kryolin is going to win reward.
Okay, I would like to see that. I am going to say Jam Jam.
Okay.
And who will win the reward? And I mean by that, what will the reward be?
Pizza.
I would love some fucking pizza. Pizza pie. That's, how's the New York pizza pie over there?
I haven't had a chance to try any of the New York pizza pie yet, but there is apparently a pizza place in our neighborhood that has an oven that is made out of volcanic ash, or I think it was some sort of lava heated thing from Mount Vesuvius, which sounds like bullshit, but it's the kind of bullshit that will sell pizza to me.
Yeah, I've actually heard of that place. Did you know they shit in the lava there? And that's why it tastes so good?
No, you're not supposed to do that. That's not the New York way.
Yeah, you get the hot shit pizza. It's a lot of spicy pepperoni and other things of that nature.
Other things, depending on what they ate that day.
Yeah. I will say, let's see, where are they? Early merge still. You know what? In honor of Franny May, the chocolatier, I'm going to say some sort of chocolates. Not like baked goods, but specifically chocolate things.
Just chocolates, okay.
Yeah, that might come back to bite me, but whatever. What will the immunity winner and their name will be? Who's going to win immunity?
Well, I'm going to say that Danny is going to win immunity.
going to say Franny May. It's just fun to say. Who's going to win immunity? Franny May. Like, imagine if that was the name of the chocolate company. Wouldn't that be funny?
Yeah, that'd be a fun, like, who's on first? Like, Franny May. Like, so will everyone else. Who do you think will?
And is the chocolate company the same company as the student loan company?
No, they're different companies. I believe it's spelled differently, too.
Stupid. They should be the same company and spelled the same. And Franny...
I don't know that Franny Mae exists, or that Fannie Mae exists. Like, the loan company, I don't think exists anymore.
Franny May, there's an opening in the student loans sector. Okay, who's getting voted out?
I'm going to say Lauren gets voted out.
I'm going to say, and I know you love him, but I think it's time. I think it's going to be Carson.
I've kind of come around on Carson. I think he's playing a good game. I also felt bad for him because he was having tummy troubles.
And he's a nerd. And you feel...
Yeah, just like me. He loves Star Wars.
You more of a Star Wars or a Star Trek nerd?
I never really got super into Star Trek, but I reserve the right to change, so probably more Star Wars.
I would say I'm more of a Doctor Who nerd or a Survivor nerd.
Yeah, I knew that. I already knew that about you.
Nerd or Marvel. I know it's so basic, but I love Marvel and the Scarlet Widow and Wolverine and Magneto is a big guy I like.
You love the Scarlet Widow.
Easy A is a good movie that I like from Marvel. So
I thought it was cool. I thought it was cool when Samuel L. Jackson showed up in the post credits for Easy A.
I've sent
Why don't you put that notoriety to good use?
I've sent you a quotes quiz. As you know, I've been very into Roller Coaster Tycoon Touch recently. Routinely getting $1 million in my bank. So this week's quotes quiz is design a theme park and we'll reveal which reality show you're destined to win. This is from Lashana, community contributor with 22,025 points. It was approved and edited by BuzzFeed community team. Thank you, BuzzFeed community team and Lashana. I'm sure this is going to be a great quiz. You have it open?
Sorry, I was taking a sip of Pepsi. Yes, I do.
You have Pepsi and we haven't even talked about it yet?
Popping bottles in the ice like a blizzard.
Yeah, well, I didn't open it on mic, so it's a delicious Pepsi Zero Sugar, and it says New York at the top of it. I'm not kidding. They make the Pepsi a little different out here. They don't shit in the water, so.
Where do they get the color then?
It's a secret. That's a New York secret.
Yeah.
You have to be the mayor of New York to know where they get it.
Gross. Do you have the quotes quiz open, Thomas?
So nasty that it's probably somewhat of a travesty having me. Then he told the people you can call me your majesty.
I do.
Where do you want your park to be located? Next to a bay, in the woods, near a busy highway, or indoors?
I like this picture of Disney's California Adventure that they have.
Oh, yeah. I was wondering what park that was. I guess the big Mickey Ferris wheel gives it away. Mickey Mouse?
I'm going to say... I'm not familiar.
Oh, he's Minnie Mouse's husband. Do you know her?
Oh, of course.
Yeah. He's the stay-at-home dad for Mickey Baby.
That's true.
Baby Mouse. Baby Mouse. Doot, 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 doot. Where's your fucking theme park going to be, Thomas?
Busy highway, obviously.
Options. Okay, that's a weird choice, but go for it.
If you did it in Roller Coaster Tycoon, though, it would be the funniest option, right? If you could, like, launch people onto the highway on your broken roller coaster.
Yeah, they don't allow you to do that in Roller Coaster Tycoon Touch, though.
What a bummer.
What should the theme for the kids area be? That's right, you will have a kids area. Mickey Mouse. This was, of course, Minnie Mouse's husband. Legos, Sesame Street, or there's no kids area.
No kids area. I'm catering to the most annoying people that are like, keep your crotch goblins out of my theme park. And it's also a Harry Potter theme park, but not for kids.
It's based on books made for children, but this one's not for babies.
No, they're for me.
I'm the baby. I am going to say, there's no kids area. In the woods, get out of here. What's your most popular roller coaster? A classic wooden coaster, a tall thrilling coaster, a fast looping coaster, a wild mouse coaster?
Tall thrilling coaster.
I'm going to go classic wooden coaster, of course.
Shivering Timbers, classic wooden coaster.
That's the Michigan's Adventure one, right?
Yes.
Was very afraid of that one as a kid. Very afraid of
It's very
coasters.
fun.
I've heard. What's your highest selling food? Churros, pizza, boardwalk fries, or candy?
Pizza, just like what the reward's going to be this week.
Hey, pizza is probably the best call. I'm really imagining like a rustic theme park. I'm going all in on this theme park idea, and it's going to be real.
Your cottagecore theme park.
Yeah, man. Which non-roller coaster ride is most ridden at your park? Bumper cars, drop tower, flying swings, Ferris wheel.
I got to click on this Coca-Cola Ferris wheel, obviously.
I'm going to do bumper cars. I think that sounds really funny. And I didn't just pick it because I didn't want to pick the one you picked. Because that would have required me to chop down a lot of trees, and bumper cars certainly wouldn't. Bumper cars around the trees, imagine. So much fun. What kind of people do you want the park to attract? Weird way to phrase that question. Thrill seekers, kids, families, teens that come for the food and games.
Thrill seekers.
I'm going to say teens that come for the food and games. I love teens. I think they're so fun, and I am a teen. I don't care that I'm 32 years old. I'm still a teen and will be forever. I'm like, who's that Texas guy who keeps running for office?
Beto O'Rourke.
Beto O'Rourke, the world's oldest, tallest teen.
You could be Better O'Rourke. The better version of Beto O'Rourke.
That's a great idea. You should really be his campaign manager next time he runs, I think. And that could be his slogan.
It's new and improved.
Finally, what will your park be best known for? Thrilling rides, awesome themes, fun place for families, scary Halloween.
Obviously Scary Halloween.
Obviously scary Halloween. How is that even an option?
What?
Well, okay, I'm going to read you mine, and you tell me if you can guess the show. And I wonder if it's the same, because we had a lot of same answers. A special and unique skill or talent is something that you need to bring out on this show. Maybe it's your singing voice, or maybe you have a cool magic skills. Whatever it is, show it off on the next season.
Is this like America's Got Talent?
Yeah. What's yours? Can you read it to me?
You're a great strategic player and are good in the social skills department. Maybe you don't have the most physical strength, but your game plan will bring you to the top.
Did you get Survivor?
I did get Survivor.
Nice. Destined to win Survivor. Second chance this season, obviously, because
No kids on Survivor.
That's a good point. Although, what if they go to a really cool school? Maybe then. Okay, so Thomas, what's your Twitter? I just DM'd you Quopes Quiz. If anybody else wants to DM Thomas at Quopes Quiz, where will
Please,
they
my
do that?
DMs are open. You can follow me at Tom Not Tom. I'm on there. My DMs are open for Quopes Quizzes. Please send them my way.
And nothing else.
Yeah, nothing else.
If you're
you will
thirsty-
be blocked if you DM me about anything but Quopes Quizzes.
Do not thirst over Thomas. He will not approve those messages. A Quopes Quiz? Swing it and ding it. I don't know what the phrase is, What I'm trying to say is that's
Swing
good.
it and ding it is a fun phrase. I think that's a good one.
Is that already a phrase?
I hadn't heard it before, but I have heard it now. So
Okay, I'm going to look it up. You can follow us on Twitter. The show is at DYWSLN. Been using it a lot more ever since Survivor got bad. Love to complain, I loved that tweet that this week that was like, I think you retweeted it, that was like, you can't bond over complaining about things, and you staunchly disagreed.
I said I think what I said was, this person is my enemy.
Yeah.
You absolutely can connect over complaining. It's one of the best ways to connect.
Welcome to this whole podcast. You can follow us on Twitter at DYWSLN or on Instagram at The Only Survivor Podcast. Or on YouTube now, The Only Fun Survivor Podcast, I think is what it's called over there. A couple of our videos have hundreds of views. The rest of them have near zero.
Wow, all right. Well, hundreds is cool, I guess.
Yeah. One of them, do you remember my great bit from last week or the week before where I did the old Kanye lyrics but replaced them with Jeffrey Probst?
Yes.
And we all agreed what a good bit that was.
Did someone think it wasn't good?
It actually got 5 upvotes or whatever they're called on YouTube.
Wow.
Likes. It's the only.
That's good.
It's the only one that's gotten any reaction.
They don't have dislikes anymore, right?
They do, but they don't show them.
Did we get any dislikes?
I don't think so.
Oh,
Probably
that's
'cause
what
of
a
how good
relief.
this show is. Although I did just put up the one about how Survivor Reddit hates us. So let's see. I'm curious, Let's see. Let's go over there. And see if
It's
gotten any
already been
traction yet.
removed for lower for video.
The Survivor mods from Reddit are on YouTube too.
They're following you everywhere.
I hate them. I hate them so much. Did you watch Survivor last night? Is the name... So don't search for Did You Watch Survivor last night on YouTube. Our show doesn't come up. It's other shows that are
Don't
also
search
about...
the name of our show
Don't
if you want to
search
find
the
our
name.
show.
The only fun Survivor podcast. Okay, I think that's ours. Yes, here we go. 4 subscribers already.
Wow.
Reddit Survivor hates this podcast solely because of the good jokes. 14 hours ago, 4 minutes long, no views.
You have to put like tags on there, right? Like that's how you do SEO optimization or whatever.
I'm trying to title everything like, the farms, the engagement farms title things.
Yeah, to just be like the Bachelor, Love Island.
Yeah.
You should put you couldn't make Blazing Saddles today. Cancel culture.
Yeah, that's good too. I put another one up yesterday. Survivor You Rock Never Change. My Irish accent's gotten 24 views.
Oh, you're very good Irish accent.
Another take on Survivor Short Man's 144 views. Nobody's commented yet, so you can comment on those.
I don't know that I want to encourage anyone to comment on YouTube videos for any reason.
Thomas, I specifically said you can hold off on the controversial comments, and we can approve them first. So all of our comments are going to be good, actually.
We're gonna moderate. There's no free speech on YouTube. We're only gonna state approved.
Yeah,
comments will be on there.
I paid for free speech.
That's a good point.
It's my favorite sentence of all time.
That really is like Twitter is kind of imploding, but it is fun watching all of the did people really think it's like that if you paid for a blue check that you would get it would make you famous? Like it would be like I'm famous now.
Yeah.
You have to respect me because I'm famous. I paid $8 for this.
I have an emoji next to my name. Yeah, I could have just put a blue 7 next to my name.
We took it all away from the famous people, so they don't get to be famous anymore. Now I'm famous because I paid $8 for this.
It's so fucking funny. I love it so much. I'm never leaving. I'm going down with this ship. I'm the orchestra.
Oh yeah, I'm staying till the end.
It's so much fun. If you want to give us money, we would love that. I still don't have a job, but what if Patreon.com... Do you think Patreon.com, if you get enough money, will give you health insurance?
Yeah, there's a... you have to make a tier for that, but...
Hey, Obamacare, we've got Pope and Change with Barack Obama. He probably knows the Pope, so we can talk about it.
The Pope could probably give you some health care. So.
Yeah. Jesus.
He can give you that big puffer coat that he wasn't wearing because it was an AI-generated image.
That's some bullshit. I think if God existed, he wouldn't allow the Pope to be AI'd.
Yeah, it's actually blasphemy to do AI images of the Pope. You go to hell for that.
Did you want to thank the fans of the show?
Jake, I would love to thank the listeners. Thank you so much, listeners.
And what if they wanted to write a review on Apple Podcasts?
First off, if you're reviewing from New York, you can say, "Hey, I'm walking here,"
That's very important. Yeah.
and then this is my favorite podcast. I like it better than all the other podcasts. I give it a big New York thumbs up. And Spotify will not allow me to leave reviews, but if I could, I would say I look forward to seeing this in my Spotify Wrapped.
Are you gonna get a shirt that says "I Hurt New York"? Or do you already have one?
But it's gonna be there's gonna be a VH1 logo on it, and it's gonna be a reference to the television show.
That's really fun. Okay, well, I hope you have a great time in New York City. I'll be here in the greatest city in the world, Chicago, Illinois, until the day I die, except for when I travel outside of the city. But we don't need to talk about that right now. In the meantime, have a great summer.
Deuces.
Good question. Are we going to continue watching Traitors? You know, that's a really good question. If only somebody had asked it in the episode and somebody else had responded. Let me think back to what happened last week when we brought this up. I said, the Traitors, there's the UK and Australia Traitors, and you said, do we have to continue doing the challenge chunk? I hate this show and I want it to die. So then we canceled the challenge chunk and in turn the music minute, and we never made a decision on the Traitors.
Okay, I thought that's what I thought. I was like, I don't think we actually made a decision. I don't know if you know this, but the reason that the bagels are so good is that the water is just a little. They do the water a little differently out here.
Oh, they don't have poop in it? Like St.
They don't
Louis
poop
does?
in the water, which I know everyone loves to do in the Midwest, but I'm here to tell you the bagel quality does suffer as a result.
They have salt and.
Can I get a bagel with a salt rim? Some lime.
I was out at I think it was in the Sin City. We went out to dinner and somebody ordered a margarita, and the server comes back like 5 minutes later. And it's like, did you want salt with the margarita? Like, that's if you're gonna ask that question, you need to ask it immediately. It just comes with. Normally, nobody's gonna question
I feel like
that.
that's pretty standard. I feel like they should ask you if you don't want it. You know what would be a really fun way to get kicked out of a lot of bars? Is to just refer to it as a rim job every time.
Oh, is that something
And
you
then
do?
wink. Just like,
Is that
make
why
sure you
you're-
make sure you give my margarita a rim job. Wink. And then it's just cut to you getting thrown out of the bar like DJ Jazzy Jeff.
Is that why you're out in New York now? They kicked you out of Grand Rapids for doing that too much?
Finally caught up to me all the times I've said that in Grand Rapids.
You walk into the meanwhile, it's like, it's that fucking rim job guy. Get him out of here.
Yeah. There's like
All the bartenders.
There's a huge picture of my driver's license photo.
They plaster it over the mirror that's behind the bar.
Yeah.
Don't let him in.
Do not let this man in. Do not let this man order a margarita.
Every bartender from every bar you go to in Grand Rapids has just got a mob of their patrons behind them, and they're chasing you out of the streets of Grand Rapids all the way to the airport.
It was a fun bit.
It was a funny bit. They hate our bits. Remember
You couldn't
Cuffs
make
versus
just
Roberts?
me running away yelling. You couldn't make Blazing Saddles today.
It's already been made.
Smarten up, Probst.
I don't know why that was so hard to build up to. You say it every week.
So hard to say goodbye.
It really is.